Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on the Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Today, I wanted to talk about some relationship stuff again, and one of these things that I get talked to about an awful lot is where the situation tends to be a couple have broken up, and then they're considering getting back together because they're both lonely, and they're both out there by themselves, and as a result, then they come to me, and it's one of those things that they not necessarily together, but it's something that they'll come to me and they'll talk to me about. And this causes an awful lot of emotional turmoil for people. It's one of these things that has an awful lot of self-doubt that floats around, a lot of emotions that can cloud your judgment, and things like that. In which case, I just wanted to come in and offer the perspective that I am able to grant those other people, through some simple questions that you need to ask yourself if you're considering getting back with a partner that you've already split from. Now, there are only 4 of them, but they're incredibly useful. They allow for a better understanding of your situation if you sit down and maybe write them out, or you sit down and talk them through with someone. Then it'll gain, allow you to gain that extra kind of insight into what's going on without the emotion, without the various upset. And one thing that I will say before we start asking these questions is you need to make sure that when you are asking these questions, you're not answering them and then making excuses for the other person. Yeah? Because otherwise, the cold hard fact of your reality, your situation that you're in, then becomes completely invalidated by, oh, well, we broke up because she cheated on me, but she comes back and she's come back and she seems really genuine, she seems like she's sorry for it. Well, there you've just invalidated the point that you've made to yourself, that there was obviously a problem there before that she couldn't deal with you with, she went elsewhere to deal with it, and so on and so forth. But anyway, the first one, as I just said, is why did you break up? Because obviously, if it was just, oh, we lived so far away, and we didn't get to see each other, and we went our separate ways, but we were still on good terms, we were still friends, then getting back together, if the situation has changed, maybe you're now closer together and or have more free time or whatever it is, then why not? There's no reason not to do that if you're both inclined to get back together, that is. But if, as said, it was infidelity, abuse, theft, arguing non-stop all the time over things that you can't even remember what you're arguing about. Not big important discussions that become arguments because it is such an important topic, like, I don't know, something to do with money and keeping a roof over your head, for instance, but it was who put what on the wrong side of the draining board or something like that, and it sparked an argument that had everyone go nuts for 2 days straight. Yeah? If it's something like that, then it's probably not in your best interests or in the interest of your own happiness to re-invite that into your life, into what you're doing, and so on and so forth. If the reason you split was a random, one-time only huge explosion of negativity, but everything else was fine, yeah? Or, as said, it was a very amicable and easy thing that was sad because, you were separating yourself from that person, but wasn't necessarily finite, then fine. There's more ground to have the discussion. But if it's purely because the negative was building and building and building over time, then, yeah, you probably broke up for the right reasons, and there's probably no reason to revisit that. But the second question that have to ask, as a coach and generally, would be, what are the reasons that you want to get back together? Let's do a little bit of pros and cons here. What are the reasons? If it's something like providing you with a home or material goods and things like that that aren't really particularly useful to keeping you happy, to keeping you going, then why? There are so many other ways that you can achieve those things. Yes, they might require more hard work. Yes, they might be just as draining as trying to maintain a loveless relationship. But at the same time, they're going to be more rewarding because you did them for yourself. You know, the same goes for if you are purely getting back into that relationship so that you have an emotional crutch, then you're potentially going to be taken advantage of and potentially opening yourself up to all manner of negativity, where because that person is your emotional dependent, they are going to be able to twist and manipulate you in all manner of different ways because you have let them. So with the right reasons, what would the right reasons be? You know, well, it would be both of you taking responsibility for yourselves, as I say in almost every single video I think I've ever made. You need to take responsibility for yourself. You need to make sure that you understand what getting back into it would mean, and then make sure that that's kind of right for you. You know, if you're getting back into it because, as said, you originally split up because the two of you were already long distance and it was going to become longer distance, and so you decided to go your separate ways so that you could find someone more local or more accessible for your needs, or just be single for a while and enjoy the freedom of that without having to worry about the fact that your other half is so far away. You know, with those things, if then the situation has changed and you want to get back together because you still like each other very much, you're now more able to see one another and things like that, then yeah, go for it. As long as it's a positive thing, go for it. But if it's because, oh, well, I'm getting back together with my ex because she kind of wanted me back and without her I wouldn't have a place to live, then there are other ways to make those arrangements. There are other ways for you to sort yourself out. You do not need to try and entangle things like your happiness and your emotional state with a person that you've already actively removed yourself from for reasons that may very well have been good reasons. But then the next one, and this is a big thing with relationships here, because obviously a relationship is only as good as you make it. It's only as good as the effort that you put in. It has to be effort from both sides. In which case, a relationship that has already collapsed has obviously potentially had either one person or both people not being willing to put the effort into making that relationship work, into making the compromises and the concessions and working through the hard times so that you come out better on the other side. And as a result, the next question number 3, is how committed are you? How focused are you on making it work this time? Yeah, because if you ask yourself that, and the thing that I do with my clients, the thing that I did in the coaching session, the group coaching session that I put up on here for you guys to take advantage of if you want to, with that at the end, I always ask, how committed someone is on a scale of 1 to 10, where 0 is not committed and 10 is completely committed. And then if they're at like an 8 or a 9, then the next question is, well, what would make that a 10? How would you jump those last couple of points to make yourself completely committed to it? Because if you're not willing to commit, if you look at that and you go, well, I'm about a 4, I guess. I'm a kind of see how it goes kind of guy, or oh, he was so much effort last time and I kind of want this, but this guy is hard work, so at the moment I'm only feeling about a 3. Well, then if the next question is, well, what could turn that into a 10? You have to then look at how realistic those things are. Oh, well, if he suddenly became Prince Charming overnight, oh, well, if she suddenly became a perfect 10 and stopped nagging and complaining whenever I did anything that most humans do, then, if those are the big jumps that you need to make, then again, that commitment probably isn't going to be there and probably isn't going to surface regardless of how long you try. Yeah, even if you make a concerted effort to focus on it, you are going to lose that energy, that concentration over time, purely because the commitment wasn't really there in the first place. And as a result, if you're not committed to making it work, if both of you aren't committed to making it work, you need to kind of make sure that if you are lacking in commitment, don't put yourself out for no reason, because it will only end in more turmoil, more heartbreak and things like that later on, subsequent to you getting back together. It'll only either turn into a loveless, unhappy, argumentative relationship that goes on for too long, or you'll just break up again and it'll be just as bad as it was the first time. But then the last question, and this is probably the most important question of all of these, and that is your partner on the same page? Now I kind of mentioned this a second ago, but if you feel that why you broke up wasn't all that bad, or could be worked through, that you're getting back together for all the right reasons and none of the negative ones, and you feel that you're completely committed to making it work, then the last question is your partner willing to do the same thing? Because you're not looking for a child, a dependent, or anything like that. You're looking for a partner. It's a two-way street. You need to be doing the same things in similar ways. And so as a result, if you're not doing that, then that's only ever going to cause a problem. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you find this at all interesting, then drop me a like and please subscribe. And in the comments, if you could just tell me what your experiences are with this kind of situation, and if you have dealt with them, would these questions have been useful to you at the time? But otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, then please drop me a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.